Okay, one more thing. Yeah, what we had done earlier was we had done a javadoc. We have done javadoc earlier. Okay, let's try javadoc again now. Okay, or let me first show you the meaning of the switch. Okay, there are a few switches in the javadoc command, and we had used one of the switch called minus package, right? Let's see what is the idea about javadoc. What's the idea about javadoc? Why javadoc? Documentation for the purpose. Who will use this documentation? Fine. The others who want to use your classes in their application, when I'm developing an application, I feel, oh, that's a class someone has developed and I might like to use them. Okay, then he should know, right? Oh, what is available at what level, right? What are the methods which I can use? What are the various things one can use? Okay, so from that point of view, let's look at this, right? So, okay. Okay, so now you may be interested in, right? So we may be interested in generating a documentation, right? Now, whatever documentation we are generating, okay, we are generating as part of a every class or whatever we have, right? All the various items we have, all the types which we develop, they are all part of a package, and they're all going to be part of a package. The other user will have his own package. Normally, the other user who is going to be the user of our classes is going to be having his own separate package. Okay, so what can he use from within our package? Can he use the default classes? Can he use the default classes? They have only package level access, right? If I have some class which is only having a package level access, is it usable by someone else? I'm assuming the other person is going to be developing his things in a separate package. Everyone has his own package, right? So it's not going to be available, accessible to him. So why push it in the documentation? Should it be given in the documentation then? Unnecessarily, he won't be able to use it at all. Okay, same way, what about the private methods? Fine, private methods, no, he won't be able to use it, right? The default methods, he won't be able to use them. What about the protected? If something is protected, oh, he may be, my class here is a public class, right? You have a public class and that public class has some protected member. Oh, he can always create a subclass in the other package, and in such a case he would be able to use the protected members. So yes, I would like the protected members to be part of the documentation. Okay, I would like the public methods to always be part of the documentation. So public members methods and any public thing is always going to be part of the documentation. So you have control on what goes in the documentation. Okay, when we use the javadoc command, we have the control on what can go in the documentation. So javadoc is like this. Okay, so when we say javadoc, okay, fine, we use various switches. Of course, we use the switch, one was minus d, that is for destination. So we use minus d dot backslash docs. Yeah. That is what we have done, right? But then after this, there's another switch you can use. Okay, and there's a default also for that. Okay, so we have the following switches. So if I say minus public, okay, one option is to say minus public. Fine. If I use minus public, then what do you think? what will be getting listed in the documentation? Only the public members. And only public members will be listed in the documentation. It won't create documentation for even the protected members. Okay, fine. The second switch, either you say minus public. If you don't specify anything, it is considered to be minus protected. Okay, this is the default. So when you don't mention, it's considered to be minus protected. So by default, documentation generated for public and protected. When public would always be documented. Okay, so if you say minus public, yes, it's only public. If you say minus protected, public and protected. Fine. What did we use? We had used minus package. So yeah, what is minus package? So what is minus package? Package level, fine. Anything which is package, protected and public. Okay, all public members, they will always be listed. Protected members also listed. Plus even the default ones. Okay, fine. All the default access specifiers everywhere, they all have to be listed in my documentation. Fine. So this documentation, maybe you are generating it for the team members. So you have team members who is developing a package. So various others. So you may like to share with them some documentation. So there, right? So someone who's managing that package, yes, he may be interested in this. Okay, but you will also have a documentation where you would like to hand over your code to someone else. Fine, and he may be interested in, he will be maintaining your code now. So the class is going to be, this class is going to be managed by someone else, right? Who is going to, so someone else for a maintainer, right? From the maintenance point of view, you might even use the switch called minus private. So if you say minus private, every member is going to be appearing in the documentation, including the private members. Okay, so with minus package, private members do not get into the documentation. So this is to control what goes into documentation. And you have different purpose, right? Why you create a documentation? You create a documentation for team members who are working on the same package. And you are creating a documentation for a maintainer. Fine. Or you are creating documentation for the general use. So minus public may not be that much useful, but sometimes yes, someone wants to suppress even the protected things and can use the minus public option. Okay, fine. So let's say whatever we have done last time, let's generate the documented. I hope everything is compiling, because yes, it should be that you shouldn't be getting errors, compilation errors. Okay, only then go for the documentation. Okay, okay, so let's see. Okay, so we generate the documentation now. Yeah. And okay, one thing what we can do always here is, let's clear the bin folder and recompile all the things, because earlier compilation, if we have not deleted, those class files will remain. Okay, let's compile. So actually, the earlier compilation which was not working would have also worked. Probably this was the reason. Yeah. So, fine. Shows 3 errors somewhere. Accessing length from test. So this is test keyword trying to access the length directly. Right? So I think these places we'll have to replace with the method invocation. Okay. So line 30, 31, 32 in test cuboid. Okay. Here's the test cuboid. Now we want to correct here also the output which it gives. Yeah. Okay, let's compile again. Okay, fine. So if this is compiling, we can generate the documentation. Okay. Fine. So javadoc -d / docs minus package. Fine. See that hello.java is without any package. Okay, and what are so we want to compile hello.java. We want to compile documentation for give documentation for all of them in one command. Okay? So we had geometry / shapes / star dot java. Okay, I think it's better to use this itself and change java doc. And this is instead of bin, it will be docs. Okay, and minus package. Just add hello.java to this. Yeah, I think this is done. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. So it has generated the documentation, and let's now see the documentation which we have. So we have Java 2204 folder, and that has the docs folder. And here we should be having fun index.html. Okay, so that's the one to be opened. This one. Okay. Fine. So here initially it shows the package list. Fine. So here one of the packages is that unnamed package. So you can go here and check out on the members of the package. Okay. Yeah. And it makes a distinction. You have these classes. So look at only the classes, or only the interfaces, or only the enums, only the records, only the annotations. And so documentation contains everything, right? Okay. So you want to go back to the package list. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go back to the overview. Fine. Select a package, maybe geometry.shapes. Okay, and related packages. It says yes, there is some other related package. Okay, and in this package, I'm interested in classes and interfaces. So that's where you go. Yeah. Okay, it has only got classes. And there are those classes, cuboid. Okay, so what does cuboid have? Oh, this is what it has. The constructors are there, methods are there, fine. Instance methods, concrete methods. Yeah, concrete method is with respect to methods. Another way of categorizing, I have used the word earlier, I have not explained it. Abstract and concrete, that's the way we make a distinction. So concrete methods, when it says, it's like whatever is non-abstract is concrete for methods point of view. Okay, so this two list will anyway be the same, so and it doesn't make a difference here or here. Okay, so within method also, so you can actually just look at the list and for a specific kind of things. Okay, yeah. And anytime go back to the package level thing or go back to the overview full. Okay, and yeah, okay, this is the geometry shapes inheritance. Find related package. This is the cuboid class, and here on the top you will see java.lang.object is a super class for geometry.shapes.rectangle class, which is the super class for cuboid. Okay, so inheritance hierarchy will always be at the top for your current class, which is for which you are looking at the documentation, and the declaration comes here. Okay, constructors, right? Okay, what all methods are there? Okay, maybe area method, overrides. You can see this overrides. See, if you put that, yeah. So this it will always mention. There are more things which you can get in your javadoc documentation. For example, want to see the documentation which is for the Java library? Quick look at the various things in the Java library. Okay. Okay, fine. So this one, yeah. So this is the list of all the modules which are available. Okay, anyway, our interest would be mainly, we would normally be looking at the java.base module. So yes, there is a higher level than what we have done so far. We have modules, and modules contains packages. Okay, the Java library has been divided into modules. So here is the java.base module, and that contains the list of packages. Yes, you can go for packages here and see. Let's see what are all the packages. Okay, fine. The java.lang package, that's where we had the string class. Fine. So java.lang package, classes and interfaces available here. You can see only the interfaces if you want only look at the interfaces. Okay, and okay, here are the classes you have, and of course those wrapper classes are there, right? Character, there are those are the nested types basically. Character dot subset, fine. Character dot unicode block, those are the nested within the character also. So members of a class, we understand there are not just the ones which we have seen, but also the types. Okay, that kind of thing will do for our exercise also, but later, right? So there is a class called class also. We are looking at that class called, there is a class called class to represent a data type, right? When the class is loaded, object of this type is created. Okay, fine. Okay, we have double, there's a class for the enum, which is a super class for all the enum types. Okay, fine. There's a class integer long. We had that math class. Yeah. Okay, math class. Yeah, you can have a look at it. When for math here you can say, oh, I want to look at all the fields here. If it's a fields, yes, we have the fine, these are public static final double E for the Euler's constant and pi for the pi. Okay, fine, same way you can scroll and see, let's see what all methods are there, and you can see here the only static methods. Fine, methods here are only static. Okay, fine, no other kind of methods, which would mean that creating object of this class is not required. It's more like a library. There's no state or anything, so you don't say new math anytime. Okay, we don't want to have objects because whatever is here is all static. Okay, when static does not require object, so object creation never done for the math class. Okay. Fine, and you can see, oh, they made it final also, and this class is final. Okay, go back and maybe you'll see the string class. So many other things are there, yeah, but there's a class called the string class. Okay, here's the string class. Fine, here also fields. Fine, these are the, okay, there's a field, anyway, case, to have the case insensitive ordering. Yes, there is some interface called comparator which is used, and so there is an object of the type comparator. Okay, and the name is, so you can see the convention. I think I mentioned about the convention. If this is mentioned as case insensitive order as all capitals, this must be a final variable. Constants are the final variables, and the convention is to use uppercase, all uppercase for constants. So final variables would be mostly with all uppercase. Okay, and you can go for the constructors for string. Okay, how to create a string, the methods available for the string class. Okay, fine, character at a given index position returns a character value. So string is composed of characters. Fine. Character at a given index position. So you can ask, if you have a string object, you can say, oh, what's a character at index 0, index 1, index 2, like that. Fine. Okay. Some other methods, and quick look at them. Okay, compared to concatenation contains, whether it contains a particular character sequence. Okay, it ends with a particular string. Is the end, is it having this in the suffix? Okay, Boolean, true, false, starts with, ends with. Fine. This format method, we know printf, right? So when we say printf, it comes in the output. Instead of output, let it create a string for me. Fine, whatever you do a formatting for printf is having a format, you can say percentage 5D, something like that, right? You want, so you have done formatting, you say printf, it goes to the output. But if you use this string dot format, you can capture it as a string instead of getting it in the output. Okay, fine, want to capture a formatted string, so that can be done. So this is that format method basically. Okay, so format returns a formatted string using the specified format string and the arguments. So exactly like the printf, right? Okay, C has the printf, same printf, but capture as a string. Okay, Of course, I think which forgot to mention, see that part. But if you look at it in the on the top, this is declared to be, this is a final class again. Okay. So this class is final. You should see that. Yeah, here. And string is final. So there cannot be, you cannot create your own kind of string subclasses. Okay, fine. So now let me mention the exercise for the account class. Fine. With this background, okay? Fine, clear. Any questions up till now? Fine. This was just showing you the javadoc documentation. Okay, generating the, of course, it's not, you can see here how good the documentation is. They have all the good, fine, they have documented it nicely by putting the documentation comments. Okay, and these are all because of the documentation comments which they have in the string.java file. Any class you see here for Java, you will find a Java file in the library. If there is any Java file, class definition, class interface, any of those 5 things, for that you can you have a Java file. Okay, so there's a Java file from where it is all coming. Okay, and they contain this kind of documentation. The documentation comment, we understand how to write a documentation comment, slash double star ending with star slash. That's how you get a documentation comment. Okay. Okay, so now let's come to the, so now we can have the exercise which is about, yeah. Okay. Okay, fine. So earlier we have done the account class, and now, so we want it in the same package as bank. Okay. Uh, So it works exactly like the superclass. So should have the same set of constructors. Okay. Okay. The current account. Okay. So for the current account, right? They have to maintain a minimum balance, right? You can decide a value. Okay. An example, someone can say, okay, let's keep it 10,000. Right? Okay, so all current accounts have to maintain a minimum balance. Okay. Okay. So one thing is you'll need a variable for minimum balance. Okay. And another thing is the withdraw method. And so withdraw method is to be overridden such that uh, okay. If the balance is not available, or rather if the amount is greater than balance, it then checks, okay, if balance is less than, okay, it then checks if the balance is less than minimum balance, right? In that case, okay, and so in that case it should it would withdraw it would deduct a penalty. Maybe something like this. Okay, so you can have a penalty amount of 100. Okay, fine. So in both cases, whether so first case, so even if it is balance is there or not there, it's greater than minimum balance or not. Okay, in both cases, return true. Okay, so it's a further deduction of penalty amount if balance is less. Otherwise, it's fine. Returns true. In both cases, it has to return true because the withdrawal has taken place. Okay, and so that's our exercise. Yeah. Yeah. And so you can try this. Fine, or you will be doing that at home. Yeah. And any questions on the exercise? Is that exercise clear? We'll have it in the same bank package. And then what you should be doing here is In the test account, go and create objects of current account and savings account and test it. So wherever you had created account, you could probably create a savings account there. Okay, I mean, I would like you not to use the account class, but to use the subclasses. Don't create account. It has to be a savings account or the current account which you create. So in test account, do it that way. So want to try it here or? कैसा करना है? And then tomorrow, first thing I'll do is I'll show it how it is to be done, but you need to be trying it out first. That's the idea. Okay, and you can think about those things to be final also, penalty and the minimum balance, and those could be. And in such case, follow the convention. Okay, if you are declaring something final and it's a primitive type, definitely you should keep it in all capitals. Okay, and always try to follow the conventions, right? Fine. So any questions so far? Yeah, or from the previous session, any questions are there? Also, you should be generating the javadoc and test out the things. Okay, and this is the javadoc which we had created, right? You can see that. Okay. Of course, we didn't put any documentation. Now, see, just one more thing. I'll talk about one more file which you can create per package. Okay, in every package, you can have a file by the name package-infor.java. I'll show you. For example, see, you can get the inspiration from here. We have, if I go to the overview over here, let's say I go to the module. So because it's one more extra level for us in the Java documentation, there's a module, right? And packages are part of a module. So in the java.base module, if I go to the packages which are available, and let's say the java.line package. Now see, there is a documentation for the package. There is a documentation for the whole package. Okay, it describes about the package, right? And before you reach so this is all about, the package. Before it then talks about first maybe the related packages and then about the classes and interfaces and this. All classes and interfaces or what are, so this comes at this stage, right? But whereas you can see in our case, it's straight away, okay, if I go to any package, right? Oh, I want, for example, a documentation before it talks about the classes somewhere here, right? After the package bank, but before it talks about the classes, we want to keep some documentation over there. Some notes, you want some notes to be introduced here, right? We understand javadoc will pick up if you have a documentation command. So in such a case, what you need to do is, okay, so if you want this, yeah, let me show it here. I'll demonstrate here. Okay, so for any package level documentation, if you want, right, you have a special file basically, because this is when we we develop our things for 5 items: class, interface, enum, annotation, and record. So if it is any of those 5, yes, for them the documentation goes in the individual Java files. But where do I keep the documentation for my package? Okay, so for that we follow the package structuring, right? So directory structure is like this. Now there is one special file. Okay, so let me go to the editor here. Okay, so we have a special file here, so we can keep one file, okay, which will have only the documentation comment, right? Oh, it should have the package declaration, package bank, and then have the documentation comment. Okay, okay, maybe fine, we have this as a comment. Okay, and save this. Where will I save it? It will be saved under the folder for the bank because it's in for this, but the name of the file, so there is a special file name. Okay, you have to call it as package-info.java. Okay, so package-info.java, so that's where we have the have a packet declaration, and you have a I just need to confirm whether the documentation comes before the packet declaration or after the packet declaration. Okay, that will need to be confirmed, but yes, this is a special file here. Okay, file which needs to be available. And let's see the documentation. Let's generate the javadoc documentation again. Yeah, okay, and we can reload. Okay, here, yeah, sorry. And we can reload this. Okay, okay, it hasn't come. Okay, maybe I'll move it before the packet declaration. Okay, and we'll need to generate it again. Yeah. Okay, so if you want, yes, for the package level documentation also, there is the purpose of this file is only for the documentation aspect. There's no other purpose of the package-info.java. Okay, and there's no class file corresponding to this which will be generated because of the package-info Java. There's no class file to be generated. Okay, purpose is only for documentation. Okay, fine. So any questions now? Yeah. And so any questions? When exercise is clear, what is the exercise which is to be done? Right. Also there, try this also, try out the javadoc thing, try the package-infor.java. You can do this for other things also, okay? And anyway, I'll push this code, that package info which I have written, that fine. So just as an example, fine. But generate the javadoc documentation. And since we have the unnamed package where we have all the default things, therefore we use the minus package option, because we have non-public classes as well, okay, in hello.java, and therefore we created it, okay. See, if we could have done without the hello.java, and then I could have used the default. I don't need to say minus package.